couple years ago, Paris Hilton said that she doesn't want her and Lindsay Lohan's name spoken in the same sentence anymore.
Oh my god, bitch, 'cause here we go.
There's one celebrity beef that I always knew existed, but I never knew any of the details about, and that is the Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton drama. Now, when I say Lindsay Lohan and Paris Hilton, you may think of this picture, but I'm talking about the actual drama. Wanting to know about this, I came to YouTube and found literally nothing. I found this video called Heiress versus Actress. Lots of good information in there, but nothing like what I wanted. So I took it upon myself, and I'm here to make myself a fully documented version. So even if no one else watches this, I have it for me. I wouldn't have been able to know any of this without a blog called Pop Culture Died in 2009 and The Wayback Machine. So all roses to them. Now let's get started. First, I want to set the scene and give some background. The year is 2004, and in one corner we have heiress / actress / model / author / perfumier / reality star Paris Hilton, and in the other corner we have newly A-listed up-and-coming actress Lindsay Lohan. So in 2004, a recently revenge-porned Paris Hilton was on one of the highest-rating television shows on Fox and dealing with a robbery, which leads to something important. And she's also dealing with her part in a movie called The Hills that reads exactly like a porno. But above all else, she parties her ass off, and that's kind of her thing. But she has a shit ton of money, she's 23, so as she should. Lindsay, on the other hand, is riding the wave of her Mean Girls fame, and just before that, she starred in Freaky Friday. Both of these films did insanely well in the box office, and she was really projected to be the next big star. There were people likening her talents to Jennifer Aniston, Julia Roberts, and saying that she was gonna be the A-list actress of her generation. That summer, she starts to really get involved with the club scene in LA and New York, where she's from. And she's also seen making out with Wilmer Valderrama, statutory rapist. But it's okay though, because she's 17,
he's
he's
24. What can really go on there? Nothing. He's like an older brother to me, so.
Right.
Up until her 18th birthday, when she decided, my big brother's kinda sexy and I might want to date him. I say all this to say that she was in the club scene, she was heavily involved, and she was running in the same circles as Paris and Nikki Hilton. Her and Paris are spotted clubbing together, shopping together, being in the car together, doing literally anything. The paparazzi will take pictures of everything all year long until 2005. Paris and Nicole have their famous falling out, which is still kind of a mystery, but it's alleged that after Paris booked SNL, Nicole was mad because she was the co-star of the show and she wasn't getting any of these opportunities that Paris was getting. So the word on the street is that when Nikki threw a viewing party for SNL, Nicole showed Paris's revenge porn tape one night in Paris instead, but that's all alleged. The most they've ever said is this. But suddenly after this, Paris and Lindsay are no longer seen together. She starts to get spotted with Nicole all the time, and they're kind of at the forefront of this new skinny thing that's going on. This leads to rumors about them being bulimic, being anorexic, doing drugs, which Lindsay was no stranger to. There was a viral email at the end of 2004, as well as about 1 million blind items every week about Lindsay doing drugs at a club. But she and her publicist, Leslie Sloan Zelnick, vehemently denied these claims, but it was kind of clear something was going on. She kept getting hospitalized for heat exhaustion, and in hindsight, it's quite clear that 2005 was the beginning of the end for Lindsay. Paris and Nicole's show on Fox, A Simple Life, was canceled after the 3rd season because they didn't even want to be around each other to film anymore. But she released a perfume and another book, so things could have been worse career-wise. While on a hiatus from her friendship with Nicole, though, she's seen going to clubs with her new bestie, Kim Kardashian.
Go to my clients' homes and I help them clean out their closets, and we take whatever they don't want and I sell it for them on eBay.
Yeah, her. While Tara Reid stands on the street like a common peasant. April. In July, she and her boyfriend Paris get engaged, and in November they call it off. And in morning of her engagement, she gets with Greek shipping expat and Mary-Kate Olsen's boyfriend, Stavros Niarchos. And I don't know what she expected. I feel like everyone should know by now, if you start a relationship as the other woman, you will get other woman. But nevertheless, they date on and off all of 2006. For Lindsay, 2006 starts off pretty badly. She's being mentored by the newly sober Kate Moss. The whole Scarlett is a cunt fiasco happens in the bathroom. The new movie that she spent the entirety of the year before filming comes out and it bombs, and she gets a raspberry for worst actress. I'm pretty sure the movie won a raspberry too for worst film of the year. She's also involved with a feud with Jessica Simpson, and she doesn't let her into a party. There's a whole thing with Ashley Simpson because she starts dating Wilmer, statutory rapist. It's a whole thing. I could do an entire video just on Lindsay because she's really been through some shit, so let me know if you want to see that. That May, right after the premiere of Just My Luck, Paris and Stavros were on one of their famous breaks, and Paris was out of the country. And Stavros and Lindsay are seen making out at a club in LA called Element. And then Stavros is seen leaving Lindsay at 2 in the morning, and they're seen getting lunch together the next day. This is when shit really goes down. On May 17th, Paris Hilton and greasy ball of oil Brandon Davis are spotted leaving a club in LA. Background on Brandon Davis, he's a rich boy, heir to a bunch of oil, and at this time he was somebody because he had dated Misha Barton from the OC, and he was friends with all the other socialites. So as they're leaving, the paparazzi's chasing them down, and they say this. I'm just gonna let it play.
You know, Lindsay Lohan has got the stinkiest, sweaty, orange anyone has ever seen. I haven't seen it. She wants me to see it, but it shits out freckles, it's orange, and it smells like diarrhea, so off. And who would want to her? Who? Nice. Wilmer? Where's Wilmer? Is Wilmer like in a mariachi bag? An embarrassing thing to say, but Lindsay Lohan, she's a fire crotch.
Paris, what's the latest with you?
Guys. Okay, Lindsay Lohan, would you her? Would you her? Just tell me the truth. Her dad's hotter than her. All right? This guy's tie is so hot. This looks like a Lindsay Lohan's vagina.
Brandon, please.
Fire Crotch movie bomb. Get in your car now, fall.
Who? Fire what?
Fire Crotch.
Fire crotch movie.
Fire. I got you. She's worth about $7 million, which means she's really poor. It's disgusting. She lives in a motel.
Henry. Paris, what does your necklace say,
It's their
Paris?
last word, okay? We're gonna leave, but Lindsay Lohan is a fire crotch. And she has freckles coming out of her vagina, and her is 7 feet long. Go.
Jesus, Paris. All right, Brandon.
Stupid and childish, obviously. This video blows up, and it becomes one of TMZ's first huge stories that they get to break. I also want to mention this comment.
It's disgusting. She lives in a motel.
The motel he's referring to is the Chateau Marmont. It's a hotel that's at least $600 a night, and I highly doubt Lindsay was staying in a regular room. So I just think it's a little ironic for someone with mommy's money to be talking about anyone else's financial situation. But it reminds me of this.
The fucking hoodlum broke poor bitch from like Compton. Like public school bitch.
And if you've seen Paris' documentary, you'll know why that clip is particularly interesting to me. Lindsay said after this in an interview that she'd never seen the fire crotch video. She said she didn't need to because her voicemail that night was filled with them saying the exact same thing. She also is quoted as saying, Paris is clearly comfortable making videos. In June, Brandon Davis isn't getting into any clubs. There's a myriad of videos online of him just standing outside the clubs like a dope, and they're all hilarious. But because his family was threatening to cut him off for how foolish he was out here making them look, he checks into rehab for alcohol and cocaine. But before he goes in, he just can't help himself, so he goes out one last time for a Starbucks run in a Team Firecrotch shirt. TMZ also reports in June that Lindsay and Paris are seen making up at a party, but the next month in an interview with the Sun Times concerning Lindsay and Stavros hooking up, Paris says, and I quote, "That was crap. She's never even hung out with Stavros. He thinks she's pathetic. I'm sure, girl, co-parter." Also that month, Lindsay's phone is hacked, and she and her publicist suggest that Paris may have had something to do with it. A few months before, the client list from a prank calling, number disguising type company was leaked, and it was revealed that Paris was one of their clients. Leslie also said that the way the messages were typed sounded a lot like the way Paris texted, but Paris's publicist Elliot denied these claims, and he said that he feels for Lindsay because Paris went through the same thing. So basically, tough titty. The whole summer was pretty shit for Lindsay. She's filming a new movie called Georgia Rule, which her team hoped would elevate her to proper actress status, as all she's acted in popularly at this point were just teen films. But Lindsay's constant partying gets in the way. The director of Georgia Rule writes a letter to Lindsay and her team saying that she's cost the studio so much money and damaged the shooting process so irreparably that she has become the biggest liability to the film studio. The Smoking Gun released this letter, and Lindsay's career pretty much died right there. Lindsay was the highest paid actress in her age range at this time, and no director was interested in paying top dollar for someone who A, isn't even truly established as an actress, and B, whose partying is going to be such a hindrance to the shooting process, which would inevitably cost them more money. Paris Hilton, on the other hand, releases her debut album that month. It's produced by Scott Storch. Interruption, I just found out that Scott Storch was in the band The Roots, and that's the band on Jimmy Fallon.
Hard to do.
I just thought that was so random, I had to mention it. Okay. And at her release party, gossip bloggers who were present, as well as blind items on other blogs, report that at some point during the night, Scott and Paris got on stage and sang the Firecrotch song. This, of course, is all alleged, but I'll tell you in a minute why I think it's all 100% true. There is a bit of a silver lining for that month for Lindsay, though. She gets a new boyfriend, founder of LA's Pink Taco, Harry Morton. This too turns bad, though, in October when Harry tells the paparazzi that he and Lindsay are on a break, while Lindsay on the other side of the country says that they're just fine. While things are going terribly for Lindsay, Paris is having a great time living up with her friends. In a video posted by TMZ that's now gone from the internet, Paris, Nikki, and Brandon pull up to the club and, I quote, blasting the Firecrotch song. Now, this is why I think the stories about the album release party are true, because clearly a Firecrotch song existed, and I don't think the chances are great that the bloggers either A, manifested the existence of a Firecrotch song, or B, inspired the production of a Firecrotch song. So I'm pretty sure it's just something Paris would have done. Another interruption. Last I heard on Pop Culture Died in 2009, they were saying that they couldn't find the song, the Firecrotch song, so I didn't really bother looking, but I looked a little bit just now, and I found this article on TMZ about Brandon Davis playing the Firecrotch song acoustic on a karaoke morning show called Kevin and Bean, and I found this clip, so I believe this is it, so here you go, here's the Firecrotch song.
Firecrotch. It's disgusting. Go back to your cheap motel. You Firecrotch. A stinky beaver. An inferno in between her legs.
After this, TMZ posted a video of the group celebrating Firecrotch Day at In-N-Out. Things aren't all dandelions and roses for Paris, though. She gets arrested in September for a DUI, which she says was nothing, but it will come back later. Now we make it to November. Lindsay has just been in her third, I believe, accident involving paparazzi. And Paris, on the other hand, is covering Vogue and partying with a recently separated Britney Spears, who at this point is already the tabloid villain every day. So her hanging out with Paris is just a recipe for disaster and upskirt paparazzi photos. Then Paris is seen hanging out with Harry Morton. As if things just couldn't get worse for Lindsay, now her enemy has her man. And this is where we get this iconic video.
Lindsay, we love you, Lindsay. Yeah. That's enough, man.
Paris is a cut.
I'm sorry, Lindsay, what'd you say? The what? Lindsay, Paris is the what? This is the cut?
I love Paris.
What'd you say a second ago about Paris? Hey, why is Paris a cunt? Alright, Lindsay, why is Paris a cunt? We got you saying a second ago. Tell them dirty gates in the...
One night after a party at one of Lindsay's friends' houses, Lindsay tells paparazzi that Paris was there. She didn't know she was gonna be there, but Paris was there, and she showed up and threw a drink at her and hit her.
About that, poured it all over me, and it hurts, and it's not okay.
It's not cool.
And I'm sorry for everyone that thinks I'm crazy.
That's
I'm not. I'm just trying to
I'm sorry to hear that.
So that same night, in an effort to suppress this story, Paris's publicist Elliot Mintz set up the most iconic scene of this generation, Bimbo Summit. After one of Paris and Brittany's many wild nights out, as they left the party to head to Brandon Davis's bungalow at the Beverly Hills Hotel, you can see Elliot escorting Lindsay right into the car.
So Paris, did you hit Lindsay?
Got a ticket, yeah, ticket.
Ask her, she's right there.
Ticket.
Lindsay, tell them the truth.
Me too. What's going on, Lindsay? Tell
Paris
us.
never, Lindsay, she's my friend. Everyone lies about
Lindsay.
everything. She's a nice person. Please, leave us alone.
So your
with
friends?
So that
Yes,
video
we're
statement
all
earlier
friends.
today was
We're
wrong?
waiting in the car. She never did that. She's a good girl. She's a nice person.
There we go. There we go.
This photo was on the cover of the National Enquirer with the headline Bimbo Summit, sparking a million headlines about all of LA's resident bad girls in one car together. From there, the drama seemed to die down.
I forgot to mention this, but there were these leaked messages between Paris and Lindsay. So here they are. If you're unfamiliar with MySpace messaging, the bottom message is Paris, and then middle message Lindsay, and so on.
Paris gets arrested early in the year for driving on a suspended license. If you remember the last arrest, guys. Yeah, came back. It wasn't just nothing, was it, girl? So she gets arrested, and in order to make an example out of how they don't treat celebrities any differently, she gets sentenced to 45 days in jail for driving on a suspended license. Celebrities come out and they say that they think her sentence is outrageous and it's too harsh or whatever. But on June 4th, Paris turns herself into jail. 3 days later, she's released to serve the rest of her sentence at home upon her lawyers renegotiating her sentence due to health issues, which were later revealed to be panic attacks and anxiety, which is likely due to the trauma she suffered at Provo Canyon School, where they would make students sit in cells naked as punishment. Again, you should go watch her documentary if you haven't seen it yet. So she left, and then prosecutors ended up summoning her back to court on June 8th. After requesting to conduct the hearing over computer, a judge sent deputies to go get Paris from her house, which is where we get these iconic photos of Paris crying in the back of a cop car. While she was in jail, she did an exclusive interview with Ryan Seacrest, and she wrote many of her fans about how much growth she was experiencing in jail and how she really felt like it was going to be a turning point for her in her life. On June 26, only 22 days after re-entering jail, Paris emerges victorious to the safe haven of an SUV with her mom. Lindsay at this time is doing her second stint of 2007 in rehab at Promises in Malibu after her Memorial Day weekend DUI that gave us this. In July, Lindsay is arrested for her second DUI. She blows almost twice the legal limit, and cops find a powder-covered Clinique sun care card in her back pocket, and we get our very first Lindsay mugshot. Again, I could go on all day about Lindsay, so please let me know if you want to know what happened this night. So while the feud seemed to have died down, after Lindsay's arrest, a letter appears on Paris's front door reading, "Lost dog, have you seen her? Age 3 and dog years, weight anorexic, eyes dilated, coat spotted/freckled, breed freckle-bellied Cockor Terrier. My dog was last seen on the morning of July 24th, 2007, chasing cars in Santa Monica. She will answer to the call of Lilo, L squared, Loho, and dime bags 2 for $10. She was also last seen carrying her favorite little toys, a little white bag we call her doggy bag, and her favorite black ankle bracelet. Please come home." Lindsay goes to jail for several minutes and is released, and the drama as it concerns Lindsay and Paris pretty much dies down. Until in 2011, after Lindsay was caught stealing 100,000 jewelries.
I did not mean to say 100,000 jewelries. I meant to say $100,000 worth of jewelry. Anyway.
From a Venice jewelry store, also alleged. Paris, on her show The World According to Paris, after being mistaken for Lindsay Lohan by a homeless woman, says,
I am not her. I'm supposed to be in rehab. No, I'm not Lindsay.
If I were Lindsay, I'd be stealing the earrings, not giving them away.
Then in 2013, Paris's brother Baron is involved in a fight at a party that Lindsay is at. Allegedly, Lindsay asked that Baron be removed from the party after saying some unsavory things about her, which led to the fight. Paris commented on her brother's Instagram saying, "They both will pay for what they did. No one fucks with my family and gets away with it." In 2017, on Andy Cohen's radio show, Paris tries to rewrite history in a clip that I'm sure you've seen.
Well, Brittany and I went out for the night.
You and Brittany went out for the night, and then did Lindsay like kind of crash, or she was just around and she...
Yeah, she totally party crashed. Like, we were all at the Beverly Hills Hotel at the bungalows, and we were at an after party, and then Brittany and I wanted to leave to go home.
Right.
And then she started like chasing us.
Lindsay did.
Yes, and then squeezed in the car. It was literally a two-seater SLR, you know, that sports car. So she just like squeezed in And I didn't want to humiliate her in front of all the paparazzi and be like, get out of my car. So
Lindsay responded to this with a tweet reading, #NiceGirls, @Britney Spears, @Paris Hilton. Come to #Mykonos for my birthday this weekend. @Beyonce, you too. In 2018, Paris Hilton propaganda machine, Paris 2000s on Instagram, posted this video.
How about at the after party? You and all your friends, yeah, they left to get naughty. Hey, boy, I really want to see if you can go downtown with a girl like me.
I have a couple problems with this video. Now, if you were following along with the timeline, you would know the incident where Lindsay calls Paris a cunt happened before she alleged to being hit by Paris, which is what led to the publicity stunt that night. Paris, however, just couldn't resist the chance to kick Lindsay, and she commented #pathological liar with a laughing emoji, and then deleted it. But it's okay, we know at this time Lindsay was unbothered. She was living her life, dancing, partying in Mykonos, hanging out with Tiffany Trump, and definitely still indulging in a little bit of nose candy.
Just come with me. 3 seconds, run. والله أنا خبيتها الحمد لله. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. And they were trying to run to me, and I'm just like so scared.
Maybe a lot of nose candy. You know, I saw this video on TikTok a couple weeks ago, and all the comments were like, stay woke. The final update comes from last year when the always mature Paris went on Andy Cohen's show, and she was asked to say 3 nice things about Paris, to which she said,
she's beyond.
Okay, that's fun. That's a pretty nice one to say that she's beyond.
Lame and embarrassing.
Okay, all right.
But it's okay, she said she regretted it the next day after her mom taught her at 38 years old that if you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. And this is the end of the story. These days, Lindsay does a little bit of modeling here and there, and Paris just recently released a documentary. I suggest you watch it. It was really interesting. It gives a lot of insight on why she was the way she was. But I do take issue with her still not mentioning her many incidences that are on camera of her being homophobic and racist, very, very racist. While I was doing this research, I found a quote. I cannot find it anymore. It was a quote from some insider that basically said Paris Hilton was like a high school mean girl, and for some reason, people like Lindsay, even after being wronged or rejected by her, just seem to keep running back for more because they want a piece of that life. And I really felt like that was true the whole time I was doing this video. Like, I loved Paris Hilton going into this. Like, I really did love her. And now I'm just like, what? If you'd like to hear about that, though, please let me know. Also, let me know if you want to know more about Lindsay, because I'm in love with her. And I think if Paris Hilton can get a second chance, then why can't Lindsay? She's always been a woman for the people, okay? Y'all have a good one. I'ma head out, though. Bye.
Boy, I'm trying to... Smack cam! Motherfucker!